Hello?
Check, check, check.
Can you hear me?
I can actually hear you.
Oh, really?
Holy shit. That's
Hi.
how we should start the episode.
Should we, though?
No, absolutely not. All right,
Oh, I
so
left my list.
you are the worst. So hi.
Hi.
Hi, Internet. Hi, nerds. Hi. We'll swear we'll figure out how to do this eventually.
Welcome to my nerdy neighbors.
Yeah, that's welcome to My Nerdy Neighbors. It's a podcast about nerding out and stuff and shit and stuff.
Don't swear.
I'm Joe Fanning.
I'm India Lee.
And we are a bunch of just people hanging out in the North Shore of Massachusetts area. And we were a bunch of big nerds, and we just figured to start a podcast and have some nerding out stuff.
Yeah. So, basically, this is going to be a podcast about you're able to nerd out about whatever you want, and you can be a huge geek about anything.
Yeah, and we'll on a weekly we'll release this on a weekly basis, and it'll be us basically picking topics to nerd out about, and we'll just talk about it for like an hour, however long we decide to go, and kind of just go from there, and then yeah,
It'll be great.
it'll be a good time. I'm pretty excited for
awesome.
it. It'll be a good time. This is already wonderfully awkward, and I'm super excited.
Oh,
about
it's just going to get more awkward.
It's just really. You sure about that?
No, I'm not.
Okay, good. But yeah, so we're a bunch of crazy, kooky, 20-some-year-olds attempting to do something.
Are we?
So, I mean, I am. I don't know about you. Are you a lie? Are you lying? Have you been lying to me this entire time?
I'm an old crotchety lady. It's actually like an orphan where she tears off all the makeup off her face, and she's really just an old lady.
It's like the
who
midget
was
lady.
part of the circus.
It's like the small person lady that's just
yes.
and all of a sudden she's like, ah! That's really concerning.
I don't think she does that, but
No, I don't think so either. But she kills everybody, right? She kills
oh
someone.
yeah,
Like at the ending, it's just like, haha, sucks to suck. I'm still gonna kill you. That kind of thing.
yeah.
All right, cool.
That's why I don't trust creepy children.
I mean, I don't trust children in general.
You shouldn't.
No.
They're
But
dangerous.
on top of that, so just going through the weird checklist that we have. Do we have anything to talk about, like social media, like?
Oh yeah, that's me. Hi.
You are social media.
I am the social media.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. So, before we did this, we were actually very productive and set up all of our social media, like good people. So we have a Twitter and an Instagram and a Facebook page.
Oh,
It's a
shit.
page, right? Or is it
No,
a group?
it's page. It's a page.
Yeah,
I remember.
It's page.
I remember I was trying to figure that out, and I understand groups because I make groups all the time for work. But
Yeah.
like, pages, real weird.
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
Thank you, Facebook, for supporting this. Thank you very much.
Facebook and Instagram are both at My Nerdy Neighbors, and the Twitter, because it won't fit in the Twitter handle,
Damn you, Twitter! Damn you!
is My Nerd Neighbors.
Yeah, that's at My Nerd Neighbors.
Yes, and if you want to find our Patreon, which we already have, that is going to be at mynerdyneighbors.com.
Yeah, and then you can help support us. You can donate whatever cash you have. We have a bunch of rewards, and the higher you get up, the cooler shenanigans that you get there. We'll also be posting a bunch of fun things like if people support us enough, we'll probably like start sending out like T-shirts and like. Cool.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of levels. So, like, $1 will get you, like, I don't even remember what it is. We set it up so long ago. And by long ago, I mean, like,
last week.
a week ago.
Proud of you. Really proud of you. It's okay.
I can remember.
We have different reward levels and things like that. So like the first reward level, you'll get like a newsletter every time something new happens. Like it'll basically just be me, Joe, just emailing you out, being like, "Hey, welcome to the emailing list. Let me send you out some cool things that are happening in Nerddom."
Mm-hmm.
And like it'll basically be like, "Here's the new shirt," or "Here's the new episode," or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. But and then it gets higher and higher, where it's like. You get behind, and the higher you go up, you can get some exclusive content. Once you get to like, I think like $5 or $10, and then like once you get higher up, then we'll give you a personal thank you and all that good stuff. And then even if you get to the highest level, which right now is like $25, we give you some free swag. It's pretty stellar. Free swag.
Pretty awesome. Pretty great.
Pretty great.
I can actually find the real ones if you want me to read them off.
No, it's okay.
Our internet is being very slow, but
this-
like, what else is new?
This is the mystery.
Welcome to the North Shore.
This is the mystery that people get to do. They get to listen to some weird guys and weird girls say something, and then they're like, "What's going on?"
It probably shouldn't be a mystery.
Well, all right then.
So, at $1, you get the nerdy newsletter, which will basically update you on what we talked about this week, any other news we have, if we're doing t-shirts all of a sudden, all that fun stuff. $5 will be it'll be the newsletter plus you get a personal message. So like you said, you know, he'll just email you and be like, "Oh my god, a person."
Just like that.
Just like that.
Just like
And
that.
then $10 will get you those previous ones plus a personal thank you video, which will be all sorts of fun. I forgot I agreed to that.
I may or may not be wearing pants during that video. May or may not be.
Most likely not.
What? Pants are like the devil.
I know, but it's cold in here, so devil will keep you warm.
Devil. Okay. Okay.
At $15, it's all the previous rewards plus access to the exclusive content, which we're going to be filming during this and before and after. If we feel like doing a vlog, I don't know. Basically, whatever gets thrown up on our YouTube that we feel like giving you.
We also have a YouTube.
Oh my god, we also have a YouTube. Go
Oh
check
my
that out too.
God.
Oh boy. Everything is also listed in the Patreon. Everything should be linked. At $20, you'll get all the previous rewards once again, plus a thank you at the end of the podcast. And you will get some mystery merch depending on what we get first.
Free swag, free swag, free swag, free swag.
Gotta love that free swag.
Gotta get that free swag.
And after $25 for right now, we're going to take any subject that's submitted by one of you.
It's like Frankenstein shit. Anyways, yeah. So like, we'll eventually, hopefully, we'll be getting some some things from you, lovely neighbors. Talking's hard sometimes. You lovely neighbors, and talking about how, like, what you want to hear us talk about, and like kind of like freak out about. So
Yeah, so if you're like super interested in like, I don't know, robots, you can be like, "Hey, I gave you $25. You better talk about robots for like an hour," and we'll be like, "Okay."
and we'll do some.
Bill.
I was about to say, yeah, right. Bill. We'll just talk about, yeah, and like we'll take the week and we'll research things about robots, and hopefully we'll satisfy people and have a good time. And
Yeah.
effectively, this is just a sad excuse for us to just hang out because we're really busy human beings.
Yeah.
It happens. But yeah, no, like this is a part-time thing for a lot of us. Like I work over as a tech person over in a school.
I do as well, but in a different form with smaller children.
Yeah, it's a lot. We just work a lot in.
We do a lot of theater.
Yeah, so you might hear us like bleed, like theater just might bleed into the conversation, or like film, or like anything weird. We're really just weird people.
We're not that weird.
I beg to differ. We have some weird things.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I thought. Anyways, so that kind of sums up a lot of like who we are, what we're doing, and if you're still listening, God bless your heart, because like
Bless
Lord
your
knows.
soul.
Because like Lord knows I would not. I would have been like, yeah, whatever. But I mean, like,
Don't
hey,
say that.
I'm just being honest to our audience.
I would listen to us.
You would? I'm proud. I would listen to us too, but I don't know about you, but like when I listen to podcasts or when I listen to YouTube videos, and like the first, like, it's always awkward, like the first episode, because they're always just like, they're always just like, hey, so like this is what I
we know
wanna
each other really well in
do.
real life, but like, what do I say to you when
Exactly.
we're recording
Just
it?
like, Hi, I've been dating you for like 3 years, but like,
Shh, that's a secret.
all right,
It's not a secret.
I'll just edit that out in
We
post.
date. We
I'll
live together also.
Edit that out in post. Don't worry. None of this will be in there. Don't worry. I'm actually just going to redo the whole thing, but with Muppet voices.
Oh my god, yes.
So instead of
Upcoming
actually
episode,
anything-
everybody.
So everything that's just going to be happening is.
See, I'd actually listen to that one though.
Would you though? Like
If there was a Muppet podcast.
No, but that's like like 45 minutes of like. Like I would not.
Yeah, I live with you.
Hey. Rude. So, do you have anything else? Do you have like anything else you want to touch on for the first, like our episode? Like, what is this like?
0,
0.5?
-1.
1 with a asterisk next to it. I don't know. Test episode 28. I don't know.
I don't know about 28. Unless we're counting all those weird noises you just make into the microphone by yourself when you're testing them.
Hey, that is some good quality testing. I got to make sure that like people will pick up all of these weird things that I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He just sits at his computer and makes noises into the microphone and records it.
That is, I mean...
It's not a lie. Don't let him lie to you.
You know, I did love you.
You still do.
Shush. Don't tell them that. But...
See?
So...
Nope, I gotta find a good one.
What do you... She's
There
looking,
you go.
She's looking through the candy hearts since it's near Valentine's Day. I hate that it's spelled with a U.
Love you.
I hate you. Anyways, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Do you want to like give a general thing on like what you're nerdy about, like a general spectrum?
I was actually gonna ask like, what have you been nerding out about lately? Like, just kind of like give us like a tidbit taste of like either one of us and how we kind of function nerds.
Okay.
So like, what have you been nerding about lately?
So recently?
Yeah.
Well, you know. Joe here has gotten me involved in some Dungeons and Dragons campaigns,
D&D.
which I had not played or really known much about before.
I'm the worst.
We played a 6.5 hour campaign the other day. It actually isn't a campaign. It was just like a part of how long have you guys been going?
We've been playing for our year. Our year is coming up. We've been playing this Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Like meeting together with the same group of people, going around hopefully the same story. We've been doing this for about since last May.
Yeah.
So it's coming up.
That sounds about right.
It's actually coming up on about a year now, which is like crazy.
Yeah. So they've been playing for a year, and they graciously accepted me as a guest character, and I get to kick all their asses because I'm really awesome. And
it's a good time.
It's a good time. So I've been doing a lot of that. And what else have I been doing? I busted out the PlayStation 1 the other day.
Did you?
I'm pretty excited about that.
Was that when I walked in and you started just playing Tekken?
Yeah, excuse you, Tekken 2.
Tekken 2. Sorry. Nice.
So I'm looking forward to playing more on that.
Yeah, so you're gonna continue playing on the. PlayStation 1's pretty sweet. Like,
it's pretty dope. I don't have that
dope.
Many games though.
Girl, I got so many games.
Because all I ever wanted to play as a child, I'm a PlayStation girl, like through and through. I've only started liking Xbox recently because that's what's hooked up to all of our TVs, thanks to Mr. Joe.
That's okay. I've been an Xbox boy. I'm sorry. I've been an Xbox boy since Xbox is coming out. I've gone every single Xbox, and we now own. My classic Xbox is still in my closet back in my old house. And in our apartment right now, I have an Xbox One hooked up to our living room TV, and I have my Xbox 360 hooked up to our bedroom TV. So I can just constantly be playing Xbox games because
Xbox.
I have a problem. Anyways,
but yeah. So all I ever wanted to play when I was a small child was Tony Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
So I have every single Tony Hawk game.
Oh.
And I'm really good at them. And no one ever believes me, so then they try and play me, and they fail.
Do they?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there was that one time we had a couple friends over, and it was just like, everyone was like, oh my god, India, you play? And you absolutely just wiped the floor with every single one of my friends.
Oh, yeah. I'm not joking around.
I figured. No, I don't hate. But nice. So you've been smart now about your PlayStation, all that good stuff.
Gotten into a little bit of drawing.
Ooh.
Again recently.
India is an artiste.
I pretend. I dabble.
She dabbles. She may or may not have an Etsy store by the time this thing comes up.
We'll see.
You should go check it out. It has some rad ass stuff.
No promises.
I'm gonna edit that out. It's okay.
Thanks. What else? What else have I been doing? Sleeping? Does that count?
Yeah, nerding out about sleep. I'm like super nerdy about sleep. It's like all sleepy.
I mean, we could talk about like REM cycles. That's pretty nerdy.
I'm really okay with that. Like, that's just weird. We can talk about
I
that
started
later.
doing yoga this week.
Ooh.
Feeling pretty great about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the yoga, doing that like
Yeah, doing that YouTube yoga
YouTube yoga.
because
Get that?
I'm not paying for a studio right now.
That's a lot of money. Is that's no, that's okay. But yeah, no.
What have you been
What
nerding out about?
What I've been nerding out about.
Yeah.
Recently, I've been like, aside from my general obsession with fantasy and D&D, like I'm a hardcore modern day fantasy nerd. Like I love Tolkien. I own and have read all of his books on a constant basis. So many times. Like, yes, that has me. I've read the Silmarillion 2 times. I know I have no life. It
Bless your
happens.
heart.
But like, I've been nerding out super hard about like. I just picked up this new book series called The King Killer Chronicles, and the first book is called The Name of the Wind, by Patrick Rothfuss. He's like rather new. He came out. I think the first one came out in like 2012. But it's like super rad because it's like I would call it like the happy medium between Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones, because like when you get Lord of the Rings and everything's super whimsical, super like
High fantasy, if you will.
Archetypal fantasy where it's like, here's the hero, here's good, here's evil, battle.
Well, that's because he made that up.
Well, he didn't make. Okay, we're gonna get into that later. But he didn't make it up. He just created what we consider to be modern day fantasy, like the modern interpretation of fantasy. And then there's like George R. R. Martin, which everyone's like knows from Game of Thrones, and it's always just like super gray areas, kill, sex, all this blood, money, all like the crazy grayness that is Game of Thrones and the coolness of that. Like King Killer Chronicles is like, I feel like smack dab in the middle, because you deal with these whimsical natures of like what is like magic and wizards and bards, and you follow this one character, and the idea of stories is so into it, where you follow this one character that if you look at one side of his story, he's known as like one of the most powerful wizards that has ever existed. But if you look on the other side, he's the assassin. He's the person who assassinated the king.
What a jerk.
Not a spoiler alert, for the record.
Isn't that the first like minute of the book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually like the premise of the premise of the book, but it's and I don't want to get too far into it because I've just gotten about 3/4 of the way through the first book, and dear God, is it too good. Like, oh my God, I love it so much.
I'm also on a Neil Gaiman reading binge currently.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just finished Neverwhere, and I think I'm gonna do American Gods after that.
Ooh, that's some good shit. I
And
really enjoyed it.
after that, I don't know. I might do Stardust, might do Coraline. I think I'm gonna need some like like a breather after these two.
What, like detoxing after?
Yeah, like detox with a Neil Gaiman child story rather than Neil Gaiman.
So wait, what is
through the sewers and
through the
death.
sewers and welcome to the fucked up side of London?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Because you were like half explaining it to me last night.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's so Neverwhere is I believe it came out after American Gods.
Okay.
And it basically follows the character of Richard Mayhew, and he has like a super boring life and a gross girlfriend who like hates everything and is super
Well, that just sounds
controlling.
like everything that I want in a life and more.
I mean, you have it. So hi.
Wow.
No,
all right,
I'm
we're going out the
kidding.
gate on that one. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad. Congratulations, internet. You now learned a little bit more about my life. Please
I'm kidding.
send help.
He's free.
Please send help.
He has keys to his cage.
People are gonna listen to this and really think that we're a bunch of fucked up human beings. Anyways,
But yeah, so it
we're gonna edit that out too.
It follows Richard, and he finds this girl like bleeding and dying on the street.
Oh,
and
good.
And we find out that her name is Dor, and her whole thing.
Wait, like Dor, like
Door.
Is she broad? Do they describe her as tall and broad?
No, she's very small and skinny with red hair.
So she's a tiny Dor.
She's a little itty bitty door, like
Little boy?
like in Alice in Wonderland when she gets
She's
the
like
first
a little.
door.
She's like a little tiny Dor.
Little door.
All right.
Yeah.
Little Dor.
Little doors.
We're also a huge fan of like Rick and Morty and those kind of like things. So you just might hear us make like little jokes. We apologize if that offends anybody, but like, oh well. Anyways,
So he like He ends up helping her,
Okay.
but then because he helps her, he gets sucked into what is called London Below, which is where all of the people who no one really cares about go.
The hottest new club in London's.
Yeah, London Below.
Just.
And so he ends up like losing his job and his house, and like no one can see him. So he's like, "What do I do?" And
Wait. So he goes into this awesome rad club.
He's not in a club.
And like nobody knows who he is.
No, he's still in London above, technically, at this point.
So it's like, is it like a parallel universe, like the Upside Down?
Kind of like the Upside Down.
Okay.
Kind of. So he, like, all this stuff happens and people start not being able to see him, and it's like he doesn't actually exist and he never existed.
Okay.
So he finds help from London Belowers, basically.
Okay.
Like rat speakers and the rats and...
Ah, yes. 'Cause when my life goes to shit, I go hang out with rats all the time.
So,
Love it.
So anyways, so he gets help from one of them, and then he goes and finds the girl Dor, and he just ends up kind of following her around at the beginning because she's the only one he knows.
Good. I like this. This is already going in the best
and
direction.
he's just like, I don't know what's going on. You need to help me because you got me here. And she's like, I told you you would come here. That's why I didn't want you to help me. And he's like, well, I'm here, so send me back. And she's like, can't do that. And it kind of goes on like that for a while. And then they meet this guy called the Marquis de Carabas.
Marquis de Carabas.
And he is basically their guide slash thief slash, I don't know. He's a cool dude. And
we do not support thieving and being crime. But sure, okay, I'm following you. No, that's okay. So they meet like Alibaba. That's fine.
Yeah, sure. There's a lot more that goes into this.
Clearly. Okay, cool.
And this whole time, there's these two assassins who are chasing Dor.
Naturally, there's two assassins.
And they're really
gross.
gross.
Ew, nasty. Love it. Keep it.
Yeah.
But so you've been nerding out about Neil Gaiman and all that good stuff?
Yeah,
So
it's really good.
So you some Neil Gaiman?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Do you like fantasy just in general?
I do.
Ooh.
It's like you knew this before about me.
Hey, this is supposed to be about discovery and nerding out and having a good time.
But you know me already.
Hush. I'm trying. Yeah. No,
No, I love fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some elves. I feel the hate radiating already. People hate elves.
Why? I like elves.
Because they think they're snotty.
Why? Because like the Tolkien-esque like elves are just like,
Yeah.
or like the like World of Warcraft, like the modern day are just like, oh, we're elegant.
Yeah.
Which is so funny to me.
But I
like,
love them. They're sassy.
No, elves are really cool in the sense like you can. There's a lot that can be done with them. Like I've seen them done in a lot of different fantasy worlds that are used in very, very cool ways. On the other side, dwarves have constantly been like almost the exact same fucking thing in the entire like in every single thing. They're always like
they're all
short,
Scottish.
They're all no. They always got the Scottish accent.
Stop.
And just everything is terrible.
Horrible.
What? Yeah, it is really horrible that they would do that to this.
That you would do that to the Scottish accent? Yes, it is.
I am not a voice actor. I am not an actor in any way, shape, or form.
I know.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Except that time you were a dead body.
That one time I was a dead body that my body...
He was very excellent at it. He can hold still for 2 whole hours.
It was really painful. I had to go to...
He got a couch rolled over him?
I had a couch... Yeah, that was not good. That was not... No. I had to go to a chiropractor after that, and the chiropractor kind of looked at me and was just like, what did you do? And I was like, oh, I laid on the floor every day, 8 days a week, or 8 times a week. It's a good time.
In the weirdest position ever.
It was the best. Well, it looked like you had to, like, fall down and, like, you know. It was a really... The weird things you do for theater is really weird. I'm not.
He wasn't supposed to be the dead body. He was supposed to be the assistant stage manager.
No, I was the assistant stage manager, and I was the dead body.
I know, but you were only supposed to be one of those things.
I know, but I love my friends, so my friend was like, shit, we need a dead body. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll do it, whatever. But they paid me more for it, so I don't really care.
That's true.
That was
Fair
about
enough.
it. Yeah, they paid me about so for to do it. So I was like, sure, yeah, no, I'll do it, whatever, it's fine. So, but
Cool.
good times. I love it. But yeah, no.
How long have we been recording for?
Right now the counter says we've been going for about 26 minutes.
Oh, see, I told you
So-
we could talk about stuff.
Well, yeah, and this is even like us like stopping each other to like do intro stuff because we'll just keep going and
Yeah, I
going and
know.
going. So, but on top of that, so since this is kind of like I want to make this like a kind of like abbreviated episode so people can get like a quick bit.
Sure.
So like on top of that, we can also talk to, like we'd love to hear from you, our listeners, and learn about you, learn about what you want to nerd out about, what you want to hear us talking about, and all that
Tell
good
us
stuff.
things.
And if you want to support us, go visit us at our Patreon for
Please.
mynerdyneighbors.com.
We'll make this sound a lot better with not rock band microphones.
Yeah, I was about to say, I would personally like to thank my childhood for helping support this, because right now we're running this on my laptop and 2 Rock Band microphones from
It's
when
a pretty sweet setup.
I mean, yeah, I feel pretty proud of myself.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, if you guys want to support us and donate us money or anything like that, or we'll probably hopefully have some T-shirts up by the time this will be up.
I'm doing some designs. You're doing some designs. We'll figure it out. It'll probably be Teespring at first.
Yeah, we'll have posts in the doobly-doos and the doodads about the
We'll put links in all of our descriptions.
links in the doobly-doos.
So descriptive.
That's a Vlog Brothers thing.
Doobly doob?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because have you never watched the Vlog Brothers?
No, I have, just not in a while.
I was about to say, and also one of my favorite.
When you're fat.
Yeah, that's so mean. Slip of the mind, Freudian slip.
Cut it out. Cut in a post.
We're gonna edit that out. But no, one of my favorite YouTubers is Matt Colville, which is just he's a writer at Rock City Games. I'm a huge gamer, by the way. I love video games. You're probably gonna end up hearing me talking about video games way too much. I apologize. No, I don't.
He played both of the Shadow of Mordor games in less than a weekend.
It was a good time. I had a lot of fun.
It was nuts.
But no, he says he took that from the Vlog Brothers. He goes, I'm going to put a link in the doobly-doo, which is just like the description of whatever the video is or whatever the thing is. And I learned that the Vlog Brothers did that.
The more you know.
I know. It's like the start, the more you know.
That was cute.
For those of you not watching.
We both just did the rainbow. The more you know rainbow.
Yeah, it was, yeah, anyways. Having fun there with your little rainbow?
Rainbow.
Good to know. But yeah, no, so we would love to hear from you guys. Love for you guys to support us. This is going to be a fun side project for a lot of us. So we're hopefully going to we're hopefully trying to do this, like make this a weekly thing where we record and then we'll hopefully have it out sometime in the middle of the week, either anywhere between like Tuesday to Thursday, somewhere around that time. We'll also be super active on on the Instagram, on the Twitter, on our Facebook page. Find us everywhere. If you guys have questions, we also
ask them.
I was like, please ask them.
Do we have a hashtag? Is it the one we have on our Twitter was Discover Your Nerdy Side?
Yeah.
But do we want to change that, or do we want to add more?
I was about to say I'm down for whatever we want. So
all right,
like
so
for now,
let's do hashtag Discover Your Nerdy Side.
Mm-hmm. Let us know who you are, let us know who you are, our neighbors, and we would love to chat with you guys. And hopefully this is the beginning of something really, really fun, new, and exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
You're excited?
I'm excited. You excited?
I'm so excited.
So excited. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much, and see you guys next week.
Thank you. Bye.